Hello, and welcome to A Celtic World, the YouTube channel and podcast that unites the worldwide fan base of Celtic. And I'm a little bit high up there, slightly better. Who's joining us today? It's just Stephen, just me and Steve, the two OGs. How's it going, Steve?
Yeah, I'm all right, Gav. I'm actually enjoying the break from the season. To be honest with you, I don't know about yourself, but the end of the season was really stressful. We had a real succession of must-win games, and and even the cup final was a bit of edge of the seat stuff. So I'm just glad being able to sort of decompress a bit for a few weeks before it all kicks off again. So yeah, I'm enjoying the break, enjoying the Euros. Been watching a few
Are you
games.
enjoying the Euros?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, the kickoff times aren't great here, so it's not brilliant at all. The best kickoff time's probably the 11 p.m. Kickoff, which is the early kickoff in Europe. The Scotland games have all kicked off at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is just awful. But I managed to watch a good few games, and I've been taking a keen interest in Scotland. I'm a big fan of the Scotland national team, and hopefully they've done enough to, if they can get the win over Hungary, which I'm hopefully they can. We can get into the next stages.
Yeah. Well, today's show is mostly going to be the recording that we did with the South Wales #1 CSC. So we're going to play that in just a second. It's supposed to be me, you, and Kaiser, but Kaiser has done a Kaiser so far, so there's no sign of him. So yeah, I was going to just start off with that, saying hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to Plunge McNugget, Mickey Moynihan, and the bold Paddy Lavery, and everybody else is there. So before we get to know South Wales, CSC, yeah, you feeling good about Scotland's chances of making history?
Well, I'm feeling as good as we possibly can be. I think if you'd offered us before the tournament started, going into the final game, knowing that a win against Hungary probably takes us into the next stages for the first time in the country's history, I think you'd have took it. Now, obviously, the Germany game was a big disaster. Really, there's no dressing that up at all. But they salvaged a bit of pride yesterday, and got a good result, which I feel against a really good Swiss side, who'll cause a lot of problems for other teams in the tournament. So I think that was a really good result. They've been up against it with injuries, a few more last night to add to the list, with Kieran Tierney looking as if his tournament's over. But I think we've put ourselves in a really good position. Now, I'll caveat that by saying that there's definitely a triumphant failure coming down the pipe here. And that's the Scotland. That's how Scotland do things. We don't do successes. We do triumphant failures. So I think, if I was a betting man, I'd say we would be, winning 1-0 against Hungary in the 90th minute and concede a really disastrous last-minute equaliser and exit the tournament. But I'm hoping that this time we'll go out, comfortably beat them, and get ourselves into the next stage. And I think the Scottish fans have been great. The scenes from Germany have been fantastic to watch. The national anthem before the game last night was genuinely spine-tingling. I found it really quite emotional watching it. And I think the fans have definitely shown that we can add something to a tournament in terms of fan culture. And I think we've been great over there. Much like the Irish, when they're in the tournaments, we add an awful lot to any tournament we get to. Not like the English, who don't add much at all apart from like throwing beer glasses. But I think the fans have shown that. Made a lot of friends, and I think it would be a welcome addition to the latter stages of the tournament. So yeah, I'm quite hopeful.
So I have visions of you after the Scottish national anthem playing, like you running down the streets of Manly with a kilt on and a toy sword.
That's right, stripped to the waist, running down. Yeah. One thing I'll say though,
I really hope you get through. It'd be amazing.
One thing I'll say about the Tartan Army though, one thing that really irritates me is, do you know those CU Jimmy hats that they wear?
You don't like
I don't know if you know the ones I mean. It's
I
like
do,
a tartan bonnet with kid on red hair coming down the side of it. You must have seen them.
Of course. All over the place.
And
what's wrong with
all
those?
those things can get directly in the bin. I absolutely despise them. Because if you remember the origins of that CU Jimmy stuff, it was Russ Abbott, who was, an English comedian back in the 70s and 80s. He was a bit as funny as a dose of gonorrhea. And it was just a blatant racist trope about Scottish people being stupid, drunks, violent thugs, basically. And I don't know why, for the life of me, why Scottish people lean into that. It's I know we like self-deprecating humour, and that's all great, but you don't have to lean into like xenophobic tropes to do that. And I can't think of any other country in the world that does that sort of thing. Because if you think, self-deprecation's great, and we're good at it. And if you look at comedy like Still Game, or comedians like Kevin Bridges, who are quite happy to take the piss out ourselves in a funny way. But I don't know why you would give credence to something invented by an English racist about 30 years ago.
I don't think anyone's invoking the spirit of Russ Abbott when they wear that hat. They're not dancing around to Atmosphere, his top 10 hit. But it's tart and it's ginger. It's
you wear a tartan hat if you want.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of the Viking horns for Scandies.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's got the guy was blatantly racist. The sketch he was doing, and I know it was in a different era, but I'm not having that at all. I'm quite happy to there's plenty of all different hats you can wear, and they wear the sort of military type Scottish hats with big feathers coming out of them. And they're not my thing, but fair enough, if that's what you want to do. It's all about dressing up the colour and the occasion, but I draw the line at a CU Jimmy hat, and Russ Abbott can get right in the
I know what to get you for Christmas now, so. All right, shall we get on with it then? Shall we turn our attentions away from CU Jimmy to hello boyo, if you want to say something equally irritating? This is a conversation I had with South Wales #1 CSC, Terry, and our very own Ian. So you can sit back, relax, get a cup of tea, and enjoy this. We'll come back afterwards, possibly me, you, and Kaiser if he shows up, and we'll chat a bit about the video and also a bit of transfer chat, maybe. What do we think has got legs, basically? But other than that, here comes South Wales #1 CSC. Terry and Ian from South Wales #1 CSC. Welcome to the Celtic World. Why is that silent?
Thank you very much. Well, as we say, diolch yn fawr.
Very good.
No, I can hear
silent?
that.
You can hear that?
I could hear it fine. Yep.
Why can't I hear that? People in the chat, can you hear that? Mickey Moynihan, did you hear that video? Please let us know, because I couldn't hear a thing. It heard all right when I played it earlier.
Yeah, it was 100% fine for me.
Anybody in the comments, please let us know if that was audible. Aye, all good, he says. All right, then. I don't have to hear it. Let's start again. Terry and Ian from South Wales #1 CSC. Welcome to the Celtic World.
Thank you very much. Well, as we say, diolch yn fawr.
Very good. Well, look, eagle-eyed viewers will recognize Ian, of course. He's a regular on the show. Terry, you're joining us as today's special guest all the way from Cardiff.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, and I'm just going to adjust this for a second and make you bigger, because there are two of you and you're the stars of the show. So, all the way from sunny Cardiff. Did you establish the CSC? Are you a founding member?
Yeah. Quick story. I worked away a lot. I'm a bricklayer, or retired bricklayer now, and I came back. We finished in, I can't remember what year, 80 something, and I looked for a CSC. There was one going in Newport, but we decided to create our own in Cardiff, but with the emphasis on not calling it Cardiff. We wanted to, the whole of South Wales, there's a really good catchment area. I had seen plenty of people wearing Celtic tops around the city centre before, so I thought, let's set their own CSC up and see how it goes. And that was way back.
And why number one? Because you were the first.
There was the previous club, like I said, it was one in Newport. They called themselves the South Wales Bertie Auld Celtic Supporters Club. And I knew there was several clubs named after Bertie Auld anyway. So I thought, let's just get something, not a particular player, just get it number one. I thought it'd be a nice touch. That's my personal opinion. So we have thought about changing the name of the club. Obviously, we've had players from Cardiff, especially Joe Ledley, but in the end, we decided to keep it to the Celtic, South Wales number one.
All right, let's have a little look at Cardiff. We always like to educate our viewers, don't we, Ian? Here at the Celtic World, give them a bit of background.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, so I'm going to just flick through some pictures of the surprisingly attractive city of Cardiff. Surprising to me, anyway. Yeah, that's Cardiff. That's like the port area, right?
Most Cardiffians still call it the docks. But it's called Cardiff Bay now. So it's they've done a lot of improvements down there. I can remember it as a working docks. So
the BBC's down there, the filming down there. The hotel that's there is like the luxury hotel.
Yeah,
that's the centre of town.
That's
pedestrianised areas, which always helps the city.
That's the Hayes, the building behind the circular art feature is the public library. And there's restaurants all around there. There's a restaurant area. That's the Ivy, actually.
Pretty cool.
On the left.
Yeah, from there, about 2 or 3 minutes walk away to the stadium. Same thing from the castle, isn't it? It's quite a small city.
That's the original. It dates back to Roman times, the castle. The keep you can see there is Norman. But the whole thing was rebuilt, strangely enough, by a Scottish family, the Butes. He came to Cardiff in the middle of the 1800s, married into a local family, and he discovered coal. And the rest of the story is history. So the Butes, a Scottish family, built that. Yeah, that's the city hall with the clock tower. That's the best stadium in the world. No offense, guys.
What's the stadium called these days? It's got a new name, doesn't it?
Principality.
Yeah.
Named after the Principality Building Society, which is a bit of a. We don't like being called a principality, well, I don't. Yeah. But they're the sponsors. So.
No one really calls it that, apart from the media. Do they?
The media do it, yeah. But yeah.
And do you like being called a taffy, given the name of the river?
I don't mind. It's all about context. I mean, I'm working away, not only abroad, but in parts of England. It just comes naturally, especially to the English people. They just call you taffy. So I don't think it's offensive. There's worse names we've been called, but
named after the River Taff.
Oh, that's the River Taff. Yeah. Incidentally, that stadium was turned the other way. It faced north to south. Now it's east to west. Just a little snippet there, and that's the living quarters of the Bute family. I told you about just now. They actually lived there up until, I think, 1948, when they moved back to Scotland after about 200 years. So,
but there's lots of nice scenes in these pictures. It looks like a really livable city.
Yeah. That's Roath Park. That's a man-built lake, as obviously you can see. But they used to have events there. Okay,
so I was going to ask you. There's I think 3 CSCs in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one, obviously, in Swansea.
It's changed a bit because we used to go up. We used to meet a gang of boys from Swansea. They weren't called the John Hartson then. They were called the Swansea Boys. It's on the bottom. I don't know many members there, this big Neil at the back. Do you recognise him?
Neil's
He's a member of our club. The big fella right in the middle there. He's one of our members, but he's also a Swansea boy. So, yeah, they've been going with him a few years as well.
And then there's North Wales.
Yeah, we used to meet up with them quite a lot. It's not a big club because I think they used to be based in Anglesey, but I don't know where they are now. But they're a good bunch of boys, actually. They've been going a long time.
It seems to be Wrexham.
Yeah.
From what we can gather.
Yeah, they think they go there for the games. It's the only big town in the area.
This would suggest Hill Street, Wrexham is their venue.
There you are. Yeah. Which has been overtaken by Welcome to Wrexham.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking about that. I was thinking like where are the biggest places, in Wales that might have CSCs. And I thought, is it Cardiff, Swansea, Wrexham? But Wrexham's way down here. Look, population 44,000.
It does. Yeah.
I mean, it's only Wrexham that's north there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like a big gap of mountains and fields between us and North Wales.
It takes about 4.5 hours to drive from Cardiff to Bangor or to Anglesey.
Yeah, well, my brother lives in Colwyn Bay, and it takes me 4 hours to drive. It's a lovely drive, by the way. But
single roads.
Very good. And one of the most interesting things I discovered in my research, Terry, was your venue. You've got quite a distinctive venue, don't you, for watching the games?
Yes. Originally, we had another pub, which is a few hundred yards on the same road, opposite the castle, which always is. We were there for almost 20 years. And ironically, Gareth Bale bought the pub, and we were told that we weren't not so much welcome. They just said they didn't want that type of thing. But we had some great times in them, memorable matches. We used to pack it out. But this one we got now, it's small, but it's perfect for our CSC. That's it.
The Rummer Tavern.
We have the middle. See the middle windows? That's our room. We call it the green room. And we've had a number of owners, some good, some bad. But hopefully these ones that are in there now, they seem quite serious. They've bent over backwards for us actually the last couple of months. So hopefully, and they let us flag up. We have the music on. We got shirts on the walls upstairs. But out of the way, out of sight, out of mind, isn't it, Ian? Would you?
Yeah, no, it's a good wee area.
It's a good, top. Yeah. We've had nice comments from visitors from other clubs. You know, they even let us put our Celtic flag up outside on the flagpole on match days, so you can't fault that.
Yeah, and it's right in the centre of town,
right in the middle.
Castle.
Yeah. Right next to a Subway and a Burger King.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, or I don't know if you know about it, Gav, but this year the Clash at the Castle, the wrestling, was on in Glasgow, but the year before, and the reason it's called Clash at the Castle was it was on at the castle, which is directly across from the Rummer. Yeah. So when that was on, there was also a Celtic game, and the place was...
It was a Rangers game.
You could not move.
A Huns game, yeah.
Wow. And I'm sure everyone will be itching to know, what is a Rummer? Who can tell us what a Rummer is?
Do you know what? You caught me out here because I did look this up a few months ago and I can't remember. But
okay. Well, I'll put you out of your misery.
It's not as uncommon. There's a Rummer Tavern in Bristol. So
I saw that actually.
It's not a Welsh word. I think it refers to something in the trade. I think, is it?
Yeah, Rummer is a large glass or cup for wine, which originated in Central Europe in the 16th century and is associated with toasts. So there you go, to extol or praise.
Well, we've had a few toasts in our club, haven't we?
Yeah.
And you just mentioned the Rummer Tavern in Bristol. One thing that both of them have in common is that they're said to be haunted, and they have ghost watchers and all coming to check it out, don't they?
Yeah, the rumour before we started going in there. Yeah, there you go. They said that they have ghosts there, and actually, I read an old police report from the 1840s of a man who was found. He used to be lodging in rooms like most old pubs, did have, and he was found in his bed, stabbed to death in the 1840s. So it's a big. It's actually quite a large. It's your typical. Doesn't look much from the outside, but it goes back a fair few feet, and it's 3 floors to it. The new landlord lives upstairs as well, the 3rd floor. So it's a big. It could be a very nice looking pub if they do it properly, I think. Which they say they're going to, you know what I mean? Needs a good bit of TLT. Is it TLT?
TLC.
TLC.
Yeah. It's a listed building though, which I think is the main issue. So anything you do has to be approved. Yeah.
Well, you say it looks better from the inside. Shall we take a little wander inside, gents? I've got a little video to play here.
Something a bit different for you here today on Real Ale Craft Beer. On your right, we have Cardiff Castle, and on your left-hand side, we have one of Cardiff's, or the city centre's oldest pubs. It is the Rummer Tavern. It's built on a burgage plot, which is 13 foot wide. As you can see, it looks very different from the buildings that are around it. It's a testament of time. It's a fantastic old pub, dating back from the records 1713, but rumour has it that it goes back far further than this. So, walking towards the stained glass windows, of course the old brickwork. This is a classic British pub.
Looks better there, don't it?
So, as you see on the right hand side, you have some wood panelling that is believed to be original. Some feature oak barrels and some bar stools, which are not going to be as old as the pub itself. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, wow. That is just so fitting for, I suppose, the occasion. Coming to one of Cardiff's oldest pubs, dated back 1713. Probably a lot older than that, but that's as far as the records go. It's nice. Beer always tastes better in the pub. I know that is probably an old cliche, but for me, there's something about sitting in a really old bar with really good beer. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just like a hand in a glove. It just works. It's just made for it. And I suppose that's why, after thousands of years, this custom still exists and is still thriving. So, pretty solid beer, I gotta be honest. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Thanks for joining me in what is one of Cardiff's most historic pubs, the Rummer Tavern.
Okay, so we're back. How did that give you a good feel for the pub? Does that make you want to go for a little pint?
Yeah, that's a few years old, I tell you, because the decor has been changed a lot. We've had, since we've been in there, which was just before COVID, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. We've had something like 4 different owners. It's been passed about a bit. And the last one before these guys were mad Cardiff City supporters, and they painted all that beautiful wood paneling walls. They painted it Cardiff City blue.
Oh dear. And
well, again, we were using that pub a lot. I'm a Cardiff boy. I used to go in there anyway. Never mind the Celtic. I was used to use it all the time. and we all advised them against it, and they wouldn't listen. So, and they desecrated it, as far as I'm concerned, and they put a lot of local people off. Now, we were okay. We were upstairs now, a little bit of paradise upstairs, so it didn't matter to us in that way. But as a local, they lost a lot of custom. So I'll have to get that video off you if you don't mind, because I'm going to show the new owners what it used to look like to get the locals back in, because in these times we need a thriving pub for us to be part of it, and that's why we encourage our members to not only use it for Celtic games, but to use it, socially if we can. If we meet up for a couple of pints on a Saturday night, just use the pub. And if it's okay with you, Garbel, if you can send it on to Ian or someone or whatever, we can use that, because we don't want to lose this pub. We
I saw that. I picked up a few was it TripAdvisor links or something, and I saw that it seems to have gone through crests and troughs of ownership.
Yes.
And it was a few years ago, everyone was saying it was a dump.
Yeah.
And now they're back to saying it's great again.
I used to get quite embarrassed, because as a Cardiff boy myself, I used to encourage people to come in, and it was a selfish motive, you know what I mean? I was looking at the future, we want to keep this pub, we want to and we had a bit of criticism, the pub did, for letting us use it for a while, didn't we? Not that many, but local Cardiff City who suddenly had affiliations to a certain other club in Glasgow. I don't know, you might have used it before. And
that brings up a good question, Terry, which is, whenever you started talking, I wasn't sure if you were going to have a Scottish accent or a Welsh accent. So how come you're a Celtic fan? I should have asked you earlier.
Here we go. My first recollection of having any connection was in my school days in Cardiff. We had a Scottish teacher there. His name was John Kennedy. He was an art teacher, Scotsman.
Good Celtic name.
And he was Celtic mad. And I always remember him talking to us about Celtic in the classroom, because being a Catholic Cardiff school, rugby was king. If you know anything about the history of rugby in Cardiff, all the Catholic schools had a great rugby teams. Why, I don't know, but they always did. And it used to make us feel a bit, not jealous, but it caught me a bit. I always remembered it. And that was it, really. But I didn't take a really big interest in Celtic until I started working abroad. And that's why I met up with lots of guys from all over the country. We all went to Germany, and Mr. Judith, the old Auf Wiedersehen pet thing. And I met Scottish boys there, and I got really interested. They told me the politics of the club, the background of the club. And I was back in the 70s, and I was hooked, because I'm slightly left-wing, as Ian might vouch for that, might you, Ian?
Slightly.
Yeah. So everything about the club clicked for me. And then every time I came home, the first opportunity, if I could, I started going up to watch the games, and I hooked up with a few other lads in the same boat. Not the Newport boys. This was another couple of, and we used to go up as much as I could whilst taking breaks from working abroad, and that's about it, really. And it went from there.
And now you're starring in your very own video.
I can't believe it.
Which is here.
Yeah. Oh, is this one? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this is the green room.
Oh, that's the old. Yeah, that's an old one.
That's
yeah.
you.
There's some of our flags there, some affiliated members.
I think there's even more flags now.
Well, yeah. That's our official club flag, and is I don't know if you know this guy. He's a fanatical Celtic supporter. He lives in Rome.
Uh-huh.
Frank, I think his name is Frank. But
There you go. I'll stop.
You can get a scale of the room itself there. It's not the biggest, but we can get the 60,
compact
70.
and bijou, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's it. Yeah, but it's changed again since then. We've got with the new owners, they've allowed us to go basically what we want, and we've got a new sound system. We bought ourselves amplifiers, so we got the big screen. We got 2 televisions up there, and we got new flags, and we've got mannequins with signed shirts. Joe Ledley's one of them, local boy.
Here they are, in fact, on the wall.
That's
and talk us through some of the characters we see in these pictures.
Yeah, well, that's McCall, Mark McCall. He's I think he lives in Newport, isn't? And there's Mark, the guy over there underneath the anarchist flag, the Antifa flag. That's Mr. Carroll, isn't it?
Yeah,
Martin Carroll, and John Mooney with his daughter is actually a very good footballer. She's going to be a star player. That's the little girl next to him, and I'm trying to look who's still there. There's old Huey in the back corner. There's Martin. That's the guy with his arms folded, looking miserable. Is Dengo. That's Dennis Smith. He's from Paisley, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the fella next to him, the grey jacket, is Joe Ledley's dad.
Oh, very good.
In there, and the old guy with his hand on his chin, that's Alan Christie. And the one next to him, the grey hair and glasses, is Huey Halligan. He's our oldest member. He can remember being lifted over the gates in the 40s and 50s.
Quite a mix of age groups then.
Yeah,
from kids to senior citizens.
Oh, there's Stevie Roy in there. Oh, there's a mixture there. That's Dengo himself, Ali, Steve Seggy. I don't know the kid there. There's Chris Garfield. That's McManus at the back. Oh, yeah, that's Joe Ledley's shirts. We've recently put them up. So they've kindly let us put them up there. This me and Joe. That's when they trained in Newport, I think, pre-season, and Joe was on the commentary team for the local S4C, the Welsh program broadcaster. He's a nice guy, really nice guy. We're hoping to get him down to the club for a few Q&As if we can.
So Joe Ledley is the player that you're most connected to?
Yeah, there's also Craig Bellamy. If you remember Craig, fantastic footballer, great talent. Well, I know his family personally. I know his dad. And I played football with his dad, so we go back a long time. But Joe is the most connected. His dad started coming to our club when Joe was still playing. So, and he's become a member ever since. So we are more connected to Joe than Craig. We don't see much of Craig at all. But
I think he's in. Was he in Belgium?
Yeah,
he'll be in Munich now, wouldn't he?
I expect so. He went. I know he was coaching on Cardiff City, and something happened there.
No, but he went out to coach in Antwerp with company.
Oh, was it?
He went to Burnley.
That's right. Sorry, you're right.
I think he's going to Bayern.
Yeah. Fantastic talent. Scored one of the best goals I can remember against the Huns, when he took the ball up on the left wing, cut inside that donkey of a centre half, and curled that ball into the net. I remember that goal for one reason as well. Another reason, he slid on his knees by the corner flag, and he put his hands sort of like that, as if saying thank you. And a Hun tried to get on the pitch, and you just see it. And the referee booked Bellamy for doing that. And I saw his dad not long after. I said, What did the referee tell him for? He said he told Craig, don't incite them to come on the pitch. I think it sums up the attitude.
Very good. And let's just complete the circle of Welsh players for Celtic. You mentioned Bellamy. Who else comes to mind?
Adam Matthews was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was Matthews. Hudson, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the four. Those are the four that I can recall.
There's a quite a well-known old player. You might recognise him, called Evan Williams.
Is he Welsh by any chance?
He was Celtics keeper in the 51 in the Final Cup final, I believe. I had the pleasure of meeting him in Vegas, and I had to ask him. I said, "What's with the Welsh name?" And his he told us a story. His grandfather moved up there to take a job in one of the pits, the coal pits up there, and he was quite proud. We gave him a club shirt, and he wore it with honour. He thought it was great. But Jonathan Gould, the goalkeeper. Yeah, Bobby Gould's son, the ex-manager of Wales.
Good shot. Well, I wanted to circle back to Adam Matthews. Do you remember what he did, which was of particular interest? Can you recall him doing anything off the field that was lots of fun?
His singing?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Here we go.
He was a bit of a rapper, I believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Adam Matthews.
Yeah, he fancied himself as a singer.
Hello. Right, there you go. Hey, little mama, ooh, you're a stunner, hot little figure. Yes, you're a winner, and I'm so glad to be yours. You're a class of your own, and ooh, little cutie, when you talk to me, I swear the whole world stops. You're my sweetheart, and I'm so glad that you're mine. You are one of a kind, and you mean to me what I mean to you. And together, baby, there is nothing we won't do. 'Cause if I got you, I don't need money, I don't need cars. Girl, you're my heart. And oh, I'm into you. And girl, no one else will do. 'Cause with every kiss and every hug, you make me fall in love. And now I know I can't be the only one. I bet his heart's all over the world tonight, with a love of their life who feel what I feel when I'm with you, with you, with you, with you, with you, girl. With you, with you, with you, with you, with you, oh.
Not exactly Tom Jones, but it's passable.
How about that then?
Yeah. I mean, there's not many people who get up on the stage like that. And
if it's going to be anyone, it'll be the Welsh. It's very ingrained in the. You don't realise, but in all the schools with all the Eisteddfods and the Urdd and things like that, there's a lot of focus on things like the arts and singing and playing musical instruments and stuff. So as a nation, I think it's. I think the average Welsh person can probably outsing the average of any other country. I'd back them all time.
Some exceptions, by the way.
Yeah. I tell you, to be able to do that though with no accompaniment, just him on the microphone, that takes
I mean,
serious cojones.
I suppose that type of music, I don't know what would that be called? I don't know. I get mixed up. Pop, hip hop. I don't know. R&B. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I thought he'd done well. I've seen that a few times. I knew he'd done that. Actually, talking about the arts and stuff, Joe Ledley's not a bad dancer either. I don't know if you've ever seen him when Wales got to the Euros, the semi-finals, and they had him up on the table dancing, and he's a good mover, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
His old man ain't, but he is.
Very good. Well, are you much of a dancer these days, Terry?
Oh. Ian will vouch for you. I can hardly climb the stairs at the Rummer.
Well, maybe once upon a time as a young man.
That'll embarrass me. No. Oh, there you are. Look at that. That's a few years back.
KGB CSC.
Yeah, we got handpicked for that, believe it or not. There was an advertisement for bricklayers to go to Moscow, and we attended the interviews over in Bristol, and we had to show them our record, not only of bricklaying, what jobs we've been on and stuff, but they wanted police records and everything. And 6 bricklayers and 2 labourers went there, all from South Wales, and we were handpicked, and it was very, very interesting. But it was intense there. I mean, the corruption was then, I don't know, it's like now, was awful, and we used to have weekly interviews with somebody from MI5 or MI6, basically, to ask us what we've been up to, any relationship with local ladies, that sort of thing. But you would never go on your own in Moscow at them days. And we weren't allowed to carry our passports. We had a photocopied one with our work visa in there, because they said that the police, or so-called police, would actually take your passports off you and blackmail you to get them back. Stuff like that.
Okay, so you were building the new British Embassy then in this photograph. This is the first photograph in a folder I've called On the Road. It's a bunch of sort of travel photos. So tell us about this one.
I'm the slim fellow on the left next to Wales. But all slim there. Look at us. Oh my God. This
is you.
That's me. Yeah.
No, you don't look like yourself there.
That's my mate Brian Murphy. He's from Mount Vernon, up in Glasgow. There's Lee Winters in the background looking down at his phone by the look of it. Jerry McGonigal holding the flag with the sunglasses. Paddy Skillen, he's from Belfast. He lived in Cardiff for a while. There's I cannot remember. This guy was a Londoner, obviously of Irish or Scottish descent. I can't think of his name. And that's we call this guy next to him, the older fellow, that was Mr. Smith. He was from Swansea. But that was some trip.
Yeah, sunshine.
Oh, it was fantastic.
That
there in the middle is Jason's brother, Mark. That's one of our members. He's the he's the chairman of our club. That's his brother. But the other lads, I do not know them. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. I know. I said that one.
Oh my God.
2009. That is.
Good God.
AC Milan 2009. I know. I said that.
Who's the other guy there? Do you know? We had so many visitors.
Are you joking? That's Jace.
No.
Yeah. That's Jace's brother. That's Jace.
What's deceiving there? He looks. If you saw the guy we're talking about, Jason, he's about. He calls himself a jockey. He's that small. He's tiny, isn't he? And I didn't know that was Jason.
How long ago that was?
Wow, 2009.
Yeah, AC Milan game that was.
Was it? Oh my goodness.
2007, no?
Was it 2007?
Yeah, I think we won that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is someone off the Celtic Alicante.
Yeah, that's me. Right, that's Ali Hoy and his wife Sue. They live in the town centre. He lives about 5 minutes walking from the pub. They've been done a few years.
Alicante are the first CSC we ever spoke to on the show.
Was it?
And this is you.
Yeah, that's me. That's at Leipzig.
Oh, fantastic.
Was it last year or year before?
I think it was year before, wasn't it?
Yeah, myself and Stevie Ryan went there representing. And
this is Leipzig.
The two guys there, the one that hoops is Jackie Megan, who's part of the North American Federation of Celtic Supporters Club. He lives in Canada. And the other guy is Gordon McClellan. He's a very well-known character up in Glasgow. I met him because he has Welsh family and he comes to Cardiff quite often. But Gordon there, he owns the Murphy's next to Connolly's in the Merchant City. That was last year. That's the guy who runs the New York Celtic Supporters Club. Nice little big. They've just moved there. That's the McHale's pub.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good trip. I just bumped there, and that's the two Luxembourg members I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. Two really nice guys. They happen to be there at the same time.
Fantastic. And there, here's you enjoying intercourse.
I love intercourse.
Intercourse, PA.
It's one of the when I used to live there. That's that town is not far. It's a massive tourist attraction for the obvious reasons. Everybody has their photograph. It's also where the film, the Harrison Ford film it was the Amish Witness.
Yeah.
That was filmed there, and you have your photograph taken in the phone box that he used in the film. Just thought
so you used to live in intercourse?
Hmm?
You lived in intercourse?
I missed that, sorry.
You lived in intercourse?
No. I lived about 20 miles up the road from there. But that's the first time I've ever been there, and I've been going back and forth for 30 odd years. Mm-hmm. So I'd never been to intercourse before. Well,
I once lived in a little village just outside of Colchester called Fingering Hoe.
Oh, well. Yeah. There's another place called Joyce, not far away. And as you go in there, it says, you are now entering Joyce. So that's a bit
starting to deteriorate here.
Yeah. That's Vienna. We were walking around. It was record heat. We had a pre-season friendly. What's the name of the team? It was a Vienna third division team. Nice little ground there, and we were just walking around a day, and we saw this place called the Bogside, and we went in. There was nothing in there. Why they called it the Bogside, I do not know. With the shamrocks and all that, they didn't have a clue what we were talking about. But we went in for a beer and had photographs taken. That's she's still a member of our club. That's Melissa. She lived in Cardiff for a number of years. She's the one who more or less got us into the Rummet pub. She knew the landlord there, put a word in for us, and that's where we went. That's at the last Huns Derby, that photograph.
Yeah. So you get up to quite a few games, do you, in the season?
I used to be a member. I had a membership for years and years. Myself and a guy called Lee Winters, and we used to go up very often. Lee ended up marrying a local girl, but I can't remember how many years I had it, and I had to give it up. My parents got ill, and I became what they call it, taking care of them, a carer, if you like. So I had to give but I've been on the waiting list for 3 years, so I'm going to get a new one. So I don't go up as much as I can, but I do try a couple of times a year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Terry, it's been very interesting to find out all about South Wales #1 and your venue and the people there. It looks like a great little club.
Yeah.
And obviously you have a bit of a star in your midst now, star of Twitter and now YouTube, Ian.
Well,
that must be exciting.
Yeah. He's going to give me his autograph later, and
Terry's obviously better at the old storytelling, isn't he? I think a very good.
I think you travel. You must know this, Gavin, yourself. You could spend days telling people, and then all of a sudden something else comes into your head. Oh yeah, I got to tell you this story and all that. But I've had some great laughs. I've travelled with Celtic, and we always have a ball. We always win, lose or draw. We always have fun.
Very good. Well, long live the South Wales #1. Now, we could talk for ages, as you said, and there's a whole bunch of other pictures here of, you with celebrities and stuff like that, which we're just not going to have time for because we've already been going for a good while. But I feel like we've really got to know your CSC pretty well.
Okay, thank you, Gav. It's and you're welcome anytime.
Yes, look forward to it.
If it's good enough for Paolo Nutini, it's good enough for you, I think.
Another great singer you're comparing me to there. Thank you.
We've erased those videos, by the way. Paolo, he insisted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he enjoyed himself that day. It was amazing. But yeah, onwards and upwards, as they say.
Okay, well, on behalf of everyone at the Celtic World, Terry and indeed Ian, thank you very much for telling us your story.
Croeso.
Cheers, Gav.
And we're back in the room. Can you hear me, Stephen?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Good, good. Well, I'm glad everybody else could hear that. I sat in silence for the last 40 minutes.
That must have been very enjoyable for you.
Well, thankfully the comments kept coming so I could tell people were watching and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are your thoughts after watching that?
That was very, very interesting. Terry seems like a really interesting guy. It's always very interesting to hear the sort of the Celtic politics, which attracts fans who might not otherwise be associated with the fan, but with the club, you know. And Terry's saying that it was his left wing leanings that sort of attracted him to Celtic, and working away with Scottish guys with similar views. And you know, I wonder how many people all around the world would come into that boat and follow Celtic for that reason. But it's always it's interesting to hear about in every club all across the world, it's the same. It's all about a venue and finding a good venue and keeping that good venue. And if you don't have a venue, you really don't have a club. Even here in Sydney, you know, they've had their difficulties in the past finding good venues, but it's so important for a vibrant club. But it seems like a really well organised club. They've got some good stuff going on down there. I've only been to Wales once in my life. I went down to a game actually. Celtic were playing a team called Inter Cabletel in the, I think it was old UEFA Cup back it was the late 90s. We went down on a bus to Cardiff first thing in the morning and spent the day there, watched the game and come straight back up after it. But Jesus, it was a long bus journey. I didn't really think much of Cardiff, to be honest with you. I mean, I understand there's a lot of development work going on recently and it looks nice now. They were only just building the stadium when I was there, so that was kind of rising up in the background where we parked the bus. So I wasn't too impressed with it as a city, but it certainly looks nice now.
Yeah, I don't know Cardiff at all. I've never been. I've been to Swansea. Got some mates from Swansea, or just outside Swansea, a place that Welsh people will recognise. Have you ever heard of the Mumbles, Stephen?
No, I haven't, no.
Well, it's this wee town on the coast just outside of Swansea, and there's a famous Mumbles Mile where people do the pub crawl, go to all the pubs a mile long, mostly during rugby events, I imagine. But it's a very nice wee place. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting to get to know Cardiff. The people in the comments seem to enjoy the Wiedersehen pet.
Yeah. Oh, he was a spitting image of Dennis Roach. Yeah, he was. That picture was hilarious. Yeah. He was standing a bomber.
Well, it's funny that he mentioned that he went to Germany and laboured in Germany, and then he shows that picture of him in Moscow. He did.
Yeah,
he totally looked like one of them.
Didn't realise Wrexham was such a small place.
Yeah,
I had it in my head. It was, you know, I had it in my head. It was a decent size, a town, and if not a city. Certainly, you know, it comes across that way.
There's a wee comment for you, Stephen.
Oh yeah, my fellow Ayrshire. It's nice to see someone joining the comments.
Oops. Monty just informing everyone who's on the show tonight. It's nice of him. Yeah, did you enjoy Wiedersehen Pet? Who was your favourite character in that?
Oh, I mean, obviously what did you call him? Big Oz was probably the favourite one. The guy that I always loved it when he stuck the nut in people. It was always great, you know. That was his party piece, was nutting people. Yeah, great fun. It was a good show. That one of these shows that you don't really see, isn't it? You don't really see it being replayed much on any streaming platform.
Yeah,
normally you can watch any. Yeah. I mean, it's a very iconic show.
Yeah, I remember I was pretty young at the time when it came out, and my dad wasn't too keen on me watching it because it was all about going in the piss and, you know, shagging German birds and things like that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of language they used. I would never use that language in 2024.
What was the name of the guy with a mullet?
Yeah, the dark-haired one. He died, didn't he?
Yeah, he
died,
passed away quite young. Yeah.
But who'd have thought that Barry, you know, Barry from Birmingham,
Barry. Yeah,
played
Timothy
by
Spall.
Yes. Who would have thought he'd have gone on to be the star?
To one. Wayne, that's right. It was Wayne, that guy's name was.
Wayne.
Thanks, Monty.
Right.
So yeah, that's amazing. You would never have guessed that, the wee ugly sort of fat guy, you know.
And his son is famous and all now. Rafe Spall. Rafe,
really?
His name is. He's been in a whole bunch of things.
All right, didn't know that.
What's Paddy Lavery saying here? They said it was filmed almost changed to Albert Square, is that right? That's a good bit of TV trivia for you.
That is a nice bit of trivia.
Working in the sun, drinking schnapps, having fun. That's living all right. It's a good theme tune, that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Moxie, was he the Scouser?
Yeah, Moxie was a character as well, and Dennis was the other one, wasn't he?
Yeah. Very good. Well, that was a good wee trip down memory lane with Peter's input. Any other highlights there? Did you like the singing at the Player of the Year Awards?
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea that Adam Matthews could sing like that. That was great. What a singer.
Yeah. You tempted to break into song tonight for us, Stephen?
I'll leave that. I wouldn't subject anyone to that. Tom Jones was actually down here in Sydney. Speaking of Tom Jones and Welshman and all that, he was down here in Sydney last month, still playing gigs. I think he's 80 something.
Amazing. Wow.
And apparently can still knock out a good tune. I wasn't there myself, but I spoke to some people who were, and they said he just can't get around stage the way he used to, but he's still got the voice. So that's incredible, isn't it? 80 odd years old.
Nowadays, when the knickers hit him in the face, he keels over, does he, with the impact?
That's right, yeah. Well, as he gets older, his fan base probably gets older as well. And I would imagine the knickers are getting bigger.
Adult diapers or something, as long as they're not too full.
Yeah, good chance here. Getting maybe drowning.
Jesus. Let's bring it back to Celtic, shall we? So how about we talk about, we pride ourselves in not partaking in nonsense transfer tittle-tattle all summer long, but is there anything you've seen that you think has particular legs in terms of players coming in and out?
Yeah, I think it seems as if the Bernardo thing seems to be the most likely thing to get done. Although there has been a bit of news breaking the last few days that the wages seem to be an issue. I'm not sure how much truth there is in that. You know, couldn't have been on much at Benfica. He wasn't a first team regular there, and he's been out on loan a few times. But I think that one's probably the most likely to get done. The rest, I don't know. I haven't seen anything concrete that I would say like that really looks as if it's going to get done. You know, interesting that they've been linked again with the goalkeeper Livakovic, who's in goal for Croatia at the Euros just now. Wasn't brilliant in their game yesterday against Albania. So, you know, they're talking about big money for him. So I have no idea. We really don't know a thing at the moment. We don't know whether, you know, we're going to throw money at this or whether we're just going to do the usual and try and scrimp and save and stick to a wages cap, or whether this is the summer that we're going to push the boat out. So it's difficult to say what's going to happen. But one guy we know is definitely off is Benji Segrest, who actually appeared on Australian morning TV the other day, announcing his engagement to his Australian partner, who was on a show called, I don't know if they have it in the UK, The Bachelorette.
I think they have them everywhere, all over the world.
Yeah, I think probably, yeah. But I think she's an Instagram model, and that's his new girlfriend. So he's apparently told the club that he's leaving and won't be back. So he's down here now, and he's all over Breakfast TV. So he's definitely out. Apart from it, it's gone a little bit quiet on the Adamida situation.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what's happening there. And the O to Genk story did seem to have some legs, but again, it doesn't seem to have gone anywhere. Interesting one thing about that was the transfer fee mentioned was 4.5 million. And I think that's an excellent deal for Celtic. If we get that for O, I'd bite your hand off, to be honest with you, because that's making us almost 100% profit on a guy who's hardly played in our first team. And I think there's a lesson there though for the Celtic board, and that's the type of player that you get for £4.5 million these days. It's not big money. That's buying your potential now, and it just illustrates why we've been struggling in the transfer market for the past few windows.
I wonder is it a lesson they'll take. Other names, the goalkeeper, you say Livakovic. There's other people saying that Peter Vindal Jensen is our number one target. And other people, again, saying we've already signed the Turkish guy from Man U. That's a done deal. So, who knows? Nobody has a clue.
The only thing I'd say about a goalkeeper, I would like to. I think it's probably pretty urgent that we get a goalkeeper in within the next week or so. Pre-season training is probably going to start in a couple of weeks, and it's very important that we have a goalkeeper in by then, a first-choice goalkeeper. I really don't want to be starting pre-season with Scott Bain as your number one goalkeeper. That would just be horrific, because it takes a bit of time for a keeper to bed himself in with his defence and get to know how to communicate with his back four. And I think that's something we really, really need. So I hope that something is just ready to go, ready to get the trigger pulled on it. Maybe when the Euros finish, or maybe we're at that stage of the transfer window where everybody says, calm down, everyone's away on holiday just now, as if deals never get done when people are on holiday. But I hope something's ready to go, because we there's no doubt about it, we certainly need to sign a goalkeeper.
We need some talent, that's for sure. And there seems to be some talent in the comments. Don't know if you've seen this. Can you read that?
Yeah.
Random fact, I was in a TV series for about 10 seconds called Finney with Moxie, Christopher Fairbank, and Andy Serkis. Well done, Uncle Nobby Steamboat. That's interesting.
I love that username. You remember that? There was a song by the Wolf Tones, wasn't it? Uncle Nobby's Steamboat.
Yeah, that's right. Loads of comments about a Wiedersehen, Pet. Yeah. What other names have been mentioned? The wonderfully named Flavius Danilic of Salernitana. Flavius is a great first name, isn't it? He's a centre-back, 23 years old. He seems to keep coming up. Scott McKenna's name's never far away. Well, the interesting one is Tommy Conway. You know him?
Yeah, Tommy Conway. I think that's a bit of a lazy link, because he made his debut for Scotland not so long ago, and I think people are just putting two and two together. But he didn't really score. He only scored 10 goals last season for Bristol City in the Championship. So I really don't think that's a credible link to be coming to Celtic to play as a striker. Particularly since we've been linked with with guys like Adam Ida coming in. He's not at the same level as him. Interesting to see Kieran Tierney going off injured yesterday for Scotland. I wonder whether that will adversely affect the transfer fee that Arsenal are going to get for him. I know a lot of people have been saying that probably puts paid to any potential move to Celtic, but I'm not so sure, because I think that's probably going to bring his value down, and it might even bring him into our price range. And I know he's been injury prone. He misses a lot of games with injury, but if you can get him for good money, he's still a top class player. And Scott McKenna came on to replace him off the bench, and I thought he looked good. I thought he looked very composed. He's quick for a centre half. He's quite physical. Looks pretty powerful in the air. So yeah, I'd be quite happy to sign him as well.
Very good.
Have you heard the rumours about Starfelt coming back?
Well, I've heard he's not happy. But all this coming back talk, I don't find any of it convincing at all.
Nah, Generally, I mean, I doubt Starfelt would be interested in coming back to Glasgow. I mean, the reason he left Glasgow still exists and still isn't in Glasgow, so I'm not too sure. And I know it hasn't really worked out for him in Spain, but I think if he wanted to leave, he would probably have a few more suitors in sort of maybe more glamorous destinations than us.
Yeah, I mean, decent player. I always thought he got more stick than he deserved. I mean,
yeah.
And as the famous Carl Starfelt song goes, he heads away the crosses and he's tackling in slides. He was great at getting up in the air and heading away dangerous balls and stuff. Not the best on the ball, right-footed, didn't really like passing it out to the side. But anyway, I think, he's part of Celtic's past, really. Let's see. Do you have anything to share with us in terms of social media at all?
Yeah,
if you do, you can look for it. You can look for it now and send it to me if you have. While I play this video, I've got a video here, which is something I found very entertaining. Scottish football fan, obviously in a state of inebriation. I don't know if you've seen this, Stephen, but he's trying to cross the road, but he's all over to the side, and the guy filming, the laughing is just incredible. So let's watch this. Thought I better play it 3 times so you could fully enjoy it.
Yeah, that's not an annoying laugh at all.
Have you seen that before?
I haven't, no. I didn't see that one.
I thought that was a brilliant laugh. God almighty, so hilarious. I mean, he only stops momentarily to check that his friend isn't seriously hurt by the road traffic accident. He's just partaking.
My first thought that that's a serious injury.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the biker guy on his motorbike trying to avoid the guy who's all cocked over to the side, who decides to go on a little confident run to get off the road.
Yeah. He was very sure of himself, wasn't he?
And then they just disappear into the night, and the biker has to pick up his bike and look at all the scratches and get home in one piece. And we'll never come across those guys again.
No.
So, yeah, felt a bit sorry for him. You have sent me something. Let me just share that.
I think I sent through.
Talk to us.
Yeah, so it's a picture from a game last night of the I can't remember that guy. His name escapes me now. The actor that plays Baby Reindeer. And he was at the game last night. But somebody's photo. Somebody's
is that really him?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah, he was.
I thought it was just somebody who looks a bit like him.
No, it's him. It's definitely him. But somebody's photoshopped his stalker just in the back of him, peering over his shoulder. And I thought that was really, really funny. That made me laugh.
Oh, it is. It's really him. Gad, isn't it? Somebody Gad.
Yeah, Richard Gad. That's his name. Yeah, so he's from Dundee. And he's good football fan. Dundee United fan, I believe. But Scotland fan as well.
Very good. Did you watch Baby Reindeer?
I did, yeah. Quite disturbing in places, wasn't it?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Right, what's going on now? You keep talking there.
Yeah, see a comment there from Monty just backing up what I was saying earlier about the national anthem. Bring that one up.
Oh, I just had it.
No, there you go.
It was. I just watched that moments before we came on air, actually.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, I fully agree. If ever a country deserved a successful football team, it's surely Scotland. You know, we've got the fans, we've got the, you know, we've got the passion for the game, and I think, you know, and it would give the country such a lift. And we need a lift.
Did you see what Robert from the Celtic World said? He was at one of the games, Slovakia, was it?
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
And he said just the touch and assurance of the Slovakian players, to a man on the ball, they were brilliant. And he's saying, I don't know what they're getting coached, but it's not the same as how the Scottish players are getting coached, because they've got the skills to pay the bills.
I think we've got, you know, I don't think we should underestimate the Scotland team. We've got some good players, intermixed with some very ordinary players. Obviously, Ralston was pretty ordinary last night, but Tony Ralston's Ralston, isn't he? He's not first choice for Celtic, and he's not an international class fullback. It's as simple as that, and it's not surprising that he struggled at that level. But I think in his favour, he sort of put his mistake behind him. And I thought he had a really good second half, Ralston. So I think, you know, technically some of these countries have got much better players than us. But, you know, in terms of passion, in terms of aggression, in terms of, I mean, we've got a fair amount of football ability as well. I think we can definitely mix it with them.
Well, the very best of luck to you and all Scots folk in the next game. When is the next game?
Well, it's Monday morning for me at 5 a.m. again, so another early start. So I don't know what to do at all. I've half a notion to go to the pub. I was going to go to the pub for the Germany game, which was on a Saturday morning at 5 a.m. So that would have been just about doable. But glad I didn't. I watched it in the house. But I think I want to go to the pub for this next game. I think I can feel something historic in the wind, and I quite like to watch it in the company of other fans. So 5 a.m. on Monday morning, I might go into the pub and then just go to work straight after it. So I hope it's a historic day for the country and for the football team, and I hope we'll enjoy it.
And I hope John is wrong when he says you'll win the Best Fans Awards. Well, one more game. Win one game, and then boom, into the knockout. The rarefied air. Very best of luck to Scotland. All right. Well, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us. And special thanks to Terry and, of course, Ian from the South Wales CSC. We'll see you back here next Thursday for another interesting episode that doesn't involve too much transfer stuff. But another little, another conversation with Celtic fans of a particular ilk. All right, Stephen. Good luck.
All right.
And I'll see you
Thank you
on Thursday. Cheers.
All right. Hail, hail.